Hi there, welcome back. As you know, we've just come back from Disneyland Paris.
It's a week ago today.
It was actually, seems longer ago than that.
Yeah.
Our vlogs are being edited. We've got the first one ready and that will go up on Wednesday the 13th of October. However, we wanted to have a chat with you before the vlogs go up.
Yeah, a bit of a kind of review. There's been, people have asked quite a few questions. So we thought we'd basically sit and get this video up before the vlog series goes up. So it's a bit of a what we thought, what we liked, maybe if there are things that we weren't as keen on or didn't like.
So many people have said, will you be going back?
So it's just a bit of a summary. So there's no real kind of structure to this, is there? There's just we've written a bit of a list.
The good, the bad,
The ugly.
And people want to know, did you use your cool box?
Yes.
So lots and lots of questions that we want to address and just have a nice little chat with you, to be honest.
Exactly, yeah. Just to sort of, I mean, obviously it was the first time for us, as if people weren't aware, obviously we have done Florida a fair few times, but this was our first time for Disneyland Paris. I think before we went, we mentioned about the fact that it's our first time. It's almost like we're going as newbies. It's the case of, right, we'd researched and we're going into it knowing about Disney but not Disneyland Paris. So
and the first trip without the kids.
Yes, yeah.
They're at uni.
Yeah.
So it felt very strange. The other thing I wanted to say, that we are wanting to be as honest with everything as possible.
Yep.
So there are some good and not so good as well.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I think that's, I just don't want everything just to seem like everything's rosy all the time, because in life everything isn't like that, and we all have likes and dislikes. So.
Yeah, and actually, as you mentioned that as well, I don't know if this is the right time to mention this, but sometimes when you're on a trip, and I think also especially when people see a vlog or photos on social media,
yeah,
everything looks wonderful, and it's not always necessarily the case. There are things that happen.
Like seconds of people's lives that you see, aren't they, in their day?
Yeah, there's times that obviously we go away. Not just this. It's Disney. It's in this country where we sometimes feel a bit flat, don't we? And we did have that on this trip as well. It was nothing, I don't think, to do with where we were. We didn't fall out. There was nothing like that. But we just didn't feel. I don't know how to describe, do it? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So we just want to say that. I don't know if anyone else kind of feels that whenever they're on a trip. Generally it seems to be after we've arrived, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think that's the problem though. There's always this expectation. You see people's vlogs, you see their Facebook and their Instagram, and it's all smiles and jumps in front of the castles, but it's not like that all the time. And I think you just have to be realistic, but it puts pressure on yourself because you always think that everyone else is having a better trip than you, and I just didn't want anyone else to get that feeling from ours, because life isn't like that all the time.
No, I mean, well, we had a lovely time, don't get me wrong, but there were just times where, yeah, you just felt a little bit almost lost, wasn't it? Kind of thing. So
but we'll talk about that anyway.
Exactly, yeah.
But let's get into the first thing. What should we talk about first? I think, should we talk about the resort?
I was actually going to talk about the journey first of all.
Okay,
let's start the journey there. Now, as you know, we got a stupid o'clock train in the morning, 5:20. If we would do this again, we were thinking about this. We'd probably drive all the way through and not stop overnight.
We're about 2 hours. I think it was only an hour and a half on the way back.
Yeah,
from the Channel Tunnel.
About 100 miles. So again, judging on traffic, could be an hour and a half, 2 hours. We're actually thinking, with the way you have to wait for the train, I feel that's kind of a nice bit of a break to then get on the train, the half hour there, and then it is about what, three and a half if you want to stop, say 4 hours. So you can kind of break it up into sections. So we may not stay overnight if we were to do this again. The
drive, as everyone told us, is very straightforward. You literally get off the tunnel and you're on the road and you're going.
Yes. And
it's pretty much straight there.
One thing I did like as well is the fact of, I think there was some kind of unknowns. I'd looked to see, we obviously had a situation in our country with a lack of fuel. That obviously has improved a bit now, I think, most places, but we wanted to make sure we could get fuel the moment we got into France. and there is a fuel station literally less than a mile, or petrol station less than a mile after you get off the train. So that's a really good thing. And I think also coming back as well, we just made sure we topped up, so that was a plus with the journey.
We did that about 80 miles from the tunnel, didn't we?
I think that the other one as well with that is the petrol station right by Disney as well. Is to note. So they're all positive things. I think the drive couldn't have been really easier, could it? The toll road was easy.
Loads and loads of rest stops.
Yeah, so can't fault that. So in regards to that,
and the Channel Tunnel operates so smoothly.
Yep.
If there's an earlier one available, they offer it to you. And everyone was so friendly, so helpful. Can't fault any of it. And
definitely be going that way again. So
our first one did get cancelled when we were on it.
It
so you'll see that in the vlog on Wednesday.
Exactly, yeah.
But apart from that, it all went smoothly. Right, should we then go on to the resort?
Yeah, definitely.
We loved Hotel Cheyenne.
Yes, it was really nice.
I cannot fault it in any way or form. When we were laughing though, I did cut this bit out of the vlog actually when I was editing it the other day. You know that first thing when you arrive at Disney and everyone's in the lobby and it's all about the smells?
Oh, did you cut that out?
I did. Yeah, it went on a bit long.
Okay.
And it's like we arrived at Hotel Cheyenne, walking up to the lobby, and the first thing we smelt was
cigarettes.
And that became the smell of our trip. But I won't go on too much about that. But that was our smell of Hotel Cheyenne. That was
the first impression, wasn't it? I would say again, a couple of days later we went in and we weren't bombarded.
True,
and I actually found there was, I don't know if it was just me, I don't have a great sense of smell, but it was almost like a bit like a chocolatey smell.
Yeah, like a hot chocolatey, woody smell.
Yeah, so that was, I don't know if it was just, I hadn't been drinking hot chocolate, so it wasn't that, but no, it was nice.
We loved Hotel Cheyenne.
When we first got there, that was a thought. The smell of obviously people smoking just outside, literally the doors. It was okay. We noticed that quite a lot actually, even outside our room when we tried to actually get out. People just standing outside the door, and actually
we could even smell it in our room one day.
Yeah.
I think it was coming through the vent.
Yeah, so someone was obviously
everywhere
smoking somewhere. But
we knew that about the Europeans.
Yes,
and I wasn't going to go on about that right now, but that was a major down point for us.
Yeah, I think we've been so used here in the UK with the way that restrictions on smoking, and also now in obviously Disney in the States, no smoking in the park at all. So yeah.
But anyway, Hotel Cheyenne was amazing. The rooms are basic, but we couldn't fault it.
Well, they say basic.
But there was no... I mean, I talk about that in the video, but there's no kettle or ironing board. They are basic.
Well, they're basic as well. They're not kind of like... although they're basic, they've got everything that you need. Storage was brilliant.
One of the major down points, however, was the...
mirror?
TV.
Ah, yes.
That was actually, it makes you realise how much you just like having the TV on in the background.
Yeah, I mean, I know we're in a different country, so I completely get that, and you could change the channels from French into English or German or other things, but there was, the choice of the channels, there was nothing. I'm not expecting to go away to watch TV the whole time, but kind of, I guess, going to a Disney resort, do you kind of think that you might even have, there was the Disney Channel, but it was
very kiddie, wasn't it?
I know Disney is about the kids, but we'd like to have a movie, like one of the maybe movie channels, even if it's old movies, something like that, just something to have on. I know when we were in Universal and it was Royal Pacific,
we watched Jurassic Park,
and it was Jurassic Park that was just on there. I don't know if that was a particular channel, but it was on like on a loop, all the Jurassic Parks.
Loved it.
And it was great. Why couldn't they just put something on that was like a Disney movie channel?
I think as well, because the parks close early.
Yep.
And so like for one evening for us, we'd finished at the park, we'd been back, got changed and washed, and then we went to the Rainforest Cafe on Disney Village for dinner, had cocktails. We came back, we didn't actually want to go out again. We just wanted, it was about 9 o'clock.
We should chill out.
Just fancied chilling in our room, but there was nothing on TV. You can't even like connect your Amazon Fire Stick, could you?
No, they don't allow us to do that, so they don't think they've actually got the ports activated to do it, so we couldn't even connect to them. We had the iPad with us, which I think we ended up watching, didn't we? But
it's just not quite the same, is it?
It's just, and I know it isn't a big thing, but it does kind of change. I mean, I think I managed to find Big Bang Theory on one night, that it was a few episodes, and you could have that in English or in French. But no, I think that was a bit of a down point. Not that we watch loads and loads. It's just nice. Would nice to have it in, or at least something Disney maybe.
Yeah, definitely. Right, what else did
We weren't asking for Disney Plus or anything like that. It was just to have something that we might want to watch. Yeah, maybe even Toy Story because we were staying in Hotel Cheyenne.
Which is Toy Story themed.
That would have been really good.
That would have been a good one actually. All of them on a loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Right, now,
The big question, Aid.
the cool box. Was it worth taking?
Was it cool?
Yeah, it was. It was very cool, yeah. We didn't leave it plugged in the whole time. Basically, we left it plugged in overnight. And it did really work well, didn't it? We kind of, like, as we used,
But we only used it for drinks. We didn't use it for milk because you worked out something else for that, didn't you, Aid?
I did, yes. Those who've flown on Virgin before... you know, I don't think they do it so much now, but you know the little milk sachets, not the pots, but the milk, the UHT ones. I bought some of those on Amazon. I think it was 100 I bought for £4. So we got those for our trips. Don't need to be kept in the fridge. And they're alright, weren't they?
They were fine.
Yeah, exactly.
We had milk in our tea. Because we took a travel kettle with us as well.
Exactly, yeah.
I have been told that you can ask for a kettle at reception, but we've had it with Disney before and we've waited like 3 or 4 days and still not had it
not got
brought to our
anything
room.
we've left.
They do, however, when you stay on site at Disney, you do get a little card, or with your magic card that you like use for park entrance and your room keys, you have a drinks machine at the end of like your corridor, and you can use it for that for drinks. But they don't do tea. It's like hot chocolates, coffees, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and we found that out watching a Clary Tales vlogs, and I think she said, because she was staying at Newport, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She said it might be different resorts, so check it. But she said, oh, you get 4 drinks a day. We were told at reception we had 1 drink a day. So okay, but we tried it, and it seemed to have a balance of like 4, whether it's €4
Each day.
each day. But
It
then
resets.
every drink was like 15 cents. So we could have probably got about 16 a day by the look of it.
There's lots of choice, wasn't there?
Yeah, and the hot chocolate was nice actually. I did
don't
like
like
it.
things like that. I only drink tea in the evenings.
Yeah, so I did
you
like
had
that. That
some.
was quite nice. So they did sort of cater for that, but you had to leave your room to go and get that.
But it wasn't very far, though, was it?
No, it wasn't. No, the rooms themselves. We didn't touch on the cool box really, or did we speak enough about that?
I think we spoke
I think the
about
cool box was a big winner. So yeah.
You love a cool box.
Yeah.
So as we're talking about on site, when you stay on site, you get an extra magic hour in the morning. So you get to go into the park. It was just the Disneyland park that was available on, and it worked really, really well. As you walk up towards the Disneyland Hotel where the entrance is, they kind of like push you over to the right.
Yep.
And you have a separate entrance. Now, what worked really, really well, and something we would recommend, even on the morning where we were thinking, oh, we're not going to do extra magic hour, we realised that time was ticking, and like one day we got there 1 minute before the end of extra magic hour, and it worked amazing because everyone else then was queuing.
Was already queued to go in. No one had been allowed in.
So we quickly rushed through when we realised the time. We got through to the extra magic so we could just walk all the way through. So
Yep.
one thing we would say is, even if you're not going to, obviously if you're arriving at 11 o'clock, it's not going to make any difference. But if you're arriving around about the time that extra magic is finishing, try and get in there right just before it ends.
Just as the park opens, really.
Yeah,
so even if it's
exactly.
5 minutes before, try and do it because
And then you won't have to
you
queue, you
avoid
go straight in.
any of the queues. So
Yeah, that worked out really well, didn't it?
yeah. Yeah.
The other thing was as well, we were so lucky because there weren't really any queue times when we were there.
It was quiet. So I mean, obviously all the schools have gone back as well. So I know the weeks before we'd had people. I think the lodge guys were out there. Danny was out there, wasn't he?
My friend Lisa.
Lisa was out there, and it seemed to be getting progressively quieter as obviously the month went on. And I think when we were there, when we went in, queues even during the day were like 15 minutes.
The biggest queue I think I saw was for Crusher's Coaster, which was 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Which I know for that ride is really good. But most things were like 5, 10 minutes, 15.
Whilst we're talking about that, should we move on to studios?
Okay.
Should we talk about studios 1 second? I don't want to jump around too much, but we've just obviously talked about going in. It made me think about us when we were queued outside.
Do you know what they need outside the parks? It's the only time it really rained was the day we went to Studios, and we were waiting there for Studios to open. We wanted to get there for opening because Crusher's Coaster, we knew we needed to get on there straight away. And it started raining. They need a little cover because they're rainy parks where people wait to go in. I think a little cover would be nice. But yeah, and then we were one of the first on Crusher's Coaster that day. We actually saw the first people get on the day.
At 9:30 the park opened, so that actually got us through and they did actually let us through. I think it was probably 10 minutes before,
Yeah.
and then went in. So that was great. But
That
what
worked well.
what I was just going to say about, I'm not actually going to talk about the park itself, but I've been asked by someone on Instagram who's going in about a month's time. I think it's Travel with Beth is going, and she asked about the parks and things like that. What I would suggest, because actually let's talk about studios a little bit here.
Okay.
I think basically we went
That
in.
was our flat day.
That was our flat day, and it'll make sense what I'm about to say after this. So I guess we have to describe or talk about the studios. Now, we were there for a morning, and that was plenty for us. The park itself, I know there's a lot of work going on at the moment,
and it will be amazing.
It will be really good. Looking at everything that's there, it does look good, and I know work has to be done at some point. And I know that's happened with the likes of Hollywood Studios in the past. We've been there when half of the rides are closed, so completely get that. The park just felt a bit disjointed. It didn't feel very Disney to us. It was also hearing, was I right in remembering, was it in studios where we're in one part and you could hear music from something else, or was that some... Well, anyway, it just didn't feel like we wanted to spend any more time than we did. We got on what we wanted to do. It was almost like we'd had a tick list, and we did that.
Went round. Well, it's like in the morning as well, we wanted breakfast. We couldn't find food anywhere. Apart from by the road trip thing. There was, but we didn't want that. We just wanted something else, and everything was closed.
Anything. There was none of the...
All the little trucks and that were just closed, and it was like 10, 10:30, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 10:30. I think even when we left... What time did we leave? About 11? I don't really think there was anything open still.
I think the trucks were just started. We actually had cereal bars in our bag, and we actually sat...
outside Terra, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There's a nice... In fact, there was actually a nice area of seating. It was covered over. I don't know if there's a restaurant or eating place nearby.
It was all the trucks. All the trucks were around it.
But it was a covered area, so that was actually really quite good, especially if it's raining.
Yeah,
I can imagine that getting quite busy. So there are pluses there, but for us at the moment, I think until the other lands are opening and other attractions opening, there wasn't really a great deal there that we actually found we would go back for.
If you aren't familiar with it, you've got Marvel coming. You've got Star Wars Land coming.
And Arendelle.
Arendelle. I think that's... What are you most looking forward to?
I think all of it, really.
I'm really looking forward to Arendelle.
I just think all of it. Arendelle looks amazing. I mean, I'm a big Star Wars fan, but obviously I know we've kind of seen that. I don't know if it's going to be the same as the other parks. Who knows? But it looks good. But looking at the maps...
It's got that almost Main Street.
It has that feel, and I feel that's what at the moment the park, it almost feels like it's been thrown together. It feels like a bit here, a bit there, a bit something else.
It feels like if the UK were to do Disney, that's what it would be like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Your eyes aren't really drawn to something in the distance, where you think most Disney places, you go somewhere. For example, you go to Hollywood Studios, you've got Terra in the distance. You've got obviously the castle. If you go towards Tomorrowland, you've got Space Mountain. You've got Big Thunder Mountain, Splash Mountain. You don't seem to have, it's all a bit like this.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a flat part for us.
We wish as well. We left the park feeling a bit bleh.
We wish we'd gone back into Disneyland Park.
If I could redo the day again, because we didn't then go back into a park, we did some resort hopping and we just had a bit of a lazy afternoon. I wish, we did go out in the evening, went to Disney Village, but that was a bit blur as well. I wish now that we should have gone into Disneyland to get the magic back again.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I could redo my day.
I think that also the first day we were there, we went into studios first, didn't we? Just to do Hollywood Tower, or Terra. I always forget what it's called. Is it called Hollywood Tower? No, is it? Anyway, we know the ride. You know what I mean. And then we went into.
Or is it Hollywood Hotel?
No, I think it's actually called Terra.
No, it's not Terra.
Is it not? I'm sure it looks on the app.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, we'll find out. You know the ride we're talking about, don't you?
That one.
Yeah, the big berry bouncer.
Yeah.
For those who are familiar with. Is it Thorpe Park?
Chessington,
isn't it?
Yeah. It used to be the berry bouncer.
We went there, then we went into Disneyland Park, and it wasn't until we actually went into Disneyland Park that we actually got the Disney feels, really. So yeah, that's that.
The Disney tears.
Exactly, yeah. Now, just going back to what I started to say many minutes ago,
this is going to be a longer video than I thought.
Was where the question, I think that Travel with Beth, I think I've got your name right, who's going in about a month's time, was that if we were going again and there was extra magic hours, and I think your trip you're only there for 2 full days, I would make use of the extra magic hours in Disneyland Park. Say for example, go in that hour, But if you're wanting to make sure you get into studios before it gets busy, if it gets busy, do the 45 minutes in Disneyland Park. Go over to studios to do the bits that you need. We had no queue. We got straight on Crushers, Tower of Terror and Ratatouille, Cars Land. There wasn't really queues for anything. Spend maybe a couple of hours there and then go back into the park. Obviously,
for the magic.
Everyone does things differently, but then at least that way you're still using the not extra magic hours. What are they called?
Yeah, extra magic.
Magic. You're using the benefit of the extra magic hours. So if you're only there 2 days, you want to make the most of that, don't you? Really.
Even if you just go onto Main Street just to wander and then just enjoy the quiet, sort of half an hour, 40 minutes, however long you're there for.
So I think if you leave studios too long, I think even within an hour of us being there, the queue time for Crushers had gone up to...
No, it's 40 minutes, but it's not unusual to see it like 70 minutes, is it?
Yeah.
When we've been checking the app and that.
Yeah, so you could be. I mean, that's just that's what we would do if we were there just for a short time, and then I feel we'd do what we wanted to do in studios and then out. So So yeah, studios was a bit of that day was a bit flat.
Meh.
Yeah. So, but it was made up by the Disneyland Park. We really loved that, didn't we?
Next thing we thought we would discuss is food, because that's something that everyone always says, that the food at Disneyland Paris is really rubbish. So let's chat about food.
Yeah, putting aside the fact that it seemed to be everything was closed before 10:30 in the morning.
We did actually speak to a member of staff about this, because everything was showing open on the app. But
nowhere was.
But he said it's all down to staffing at the moment.
Yeah.
So like my friend Lisa said to me, on Main Street, go into the store, the confectionery store, and get your cookie in there, but they sell out really, really quickly.
Was it the bake shop?
I can't remember. It's on the right hand side as you walk down Main Street. So we went there and it was closed. It didn't open, I don't think, until nearly lunchtime when we were there. So I think the hours are just a bit all over the place at the moment.
Yeah, I think they're getting staff, understandably, by the sound of it, and also because it's a quieter time, they probably haven't got the staff that they had when they were there at summertime. The hours that the parks aren't open as much. So. And
we did go with a list. We did research our treats, didn't we? And I went with a list of foods that I wanted to have. And
I would actually say, in regards to the actual snacks around the park, we absolutely loved them.
We did really well.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever eaten so many Mickey-shaped snacks.
No, I mean, the only one that really wasn't was the crepe. The Nutella crepe. That was really nice. That was the only thing that was open. It was the first day that we'd gone in and we said we're just going to enjoy snacks today. I think we'd had a meal the night before and we actually cancelled our dining reservation, didn't we? And we thought we actually want to enjoy the snacks. So we started with that, and then I think we just went through the day. We had the Simba
that was one of my favourite things.
I think at the moment it's Halloween, so they haven't got it there, but it's a Halloween themed one now. But that was so nice. I mean, we shared that, didn't we? Because
we did a lot of sharing because we wanted to fit in all the snacks.
Yeah, that was nice. There was what were the cakes? They were like
like a mandolin. It was actually
mandolin?
Something like that. It was a little Mickey cake in a little wrapper, and it had almonds on it. And it was actually in one of the little shops that we just picked up, and they were so good. $2.99 each.
They really reminded me, if you get over here, I think that they called Madeline's Fingers.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Madeline's Fingers. We get them.
That's such a horrible name.
I know, but they've got like raisins in. These didn't have raisins, but the consistency of it is cakey-like, but it isn't like a cake we have.
Bit marzipan-y. It's really good.
But it was really, really nice. So yeah, that was nice. The Mickey waffle, I have to say, was probably one of the nicest waffles I've had. Actually, I think it has to be what I've had in Main Street in Disney World.
We've never had a Mickey waffle.
Well, no, but we had.
Do you mean Sleepy Hollow?
Sleepy Hollow.
But they're like your standard waffles.
Yeah, I know, but the waffles, they just felt cooked to me the way you'd expect a waffle. Not too hard, not too soft.
Really
whereas I know on Main Street they've been, I think, overcooked a bit.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think so.
And they were €5 each. So price-wise, they were really good. One of my favourite places was Bella Notta.
Oh yes.
It's just tucked down by It's a Small World.
Yeah.
An Italian quick serve. Smelled amazing, and we got the kids pizza, which is Mickey shaped.
That was €5. Again, watch out for things like you can get the meals. We didn't want that. I think they almost doubled the price, didn't it? Having the water and the baby bell on the side or something like that. So we just wanted to pay. It's €5, and it was really nice.
Really good pizza.
I would actually choose to have that one each, and almost have that as a bit of a light lunch. That was really nice.
I think as well, we actually thought that the quick serve options in the Disneyland park were better than Magic Kingdom. more choice. And if you really have a look around, I mean, you don't get there's no variety at the moment. There's not really much choice. Each menu, you've only got very, very limited.
Yeah, just a few options.
One day, one evening at the Last Chance Cafe, which is just inside Frontierland, and you can look out over Big Thunder Mountain, so it's there. We more or less ordered everything off the menu to share.
I think the only one we didn't was nachos.
We got the vegan chili, which is my favourite food in the whole wide world, and I love that. We shared some crispy chicken bites, which were just okay. Chicken wings were really good.
Chicken wings and some chips. Now the chips were really nice. They weren't French fries. They were proper, almost like chips.
Yeah, they were like a fat fry, weren't
and I think if I do that again, I would go and have the wings. I think the wings were they €8, €7, €8?
Well, the whole meal cost us 31.
Yeah, but I would go. You'd love the vegan chili, and I think if we were going somewhere, it reminded me a little bit of Pecco Bill's. That kind of feel about it. It was where the wooden tables outside and just that sort of feel about it.
It was nice. We really liked it there.
And I think I'd prefer to do that, even if I was to have 2 lots of chicken wings. That sounds a bit greedy. I'd prefer that than maybe a sit-down meal. We only ate out a couple of times, but also looking at some vlogs, the choice again on the sit-down, also the cost. It seems really, really pricey for the proper sit-down meals.
We did actually have a reservation at the Silver Spur Steakhouse, which is just a little bit along from where we ate, and we actually cancelled that because, again, we didn't want to be ruled by time.
Yep.
And also the menu, although the theming looked lovely, it wouldn't have been, the menu was so restricted, it wouldn't have been our first choice. And that's something else actually which I forgot to add to my list. It was so nice not doing fast passes. I mean, we were lucky because we didn't have the major queues. Had there been massive queues, it would have been
a bit different, yeah.
But not having that time restriction, I hate that feeling in Disney World where you're rushing to get to a park because of your fast pass. You're not enjoying
or a reservation,
Main Street.
a dining reservation.
You're not enjoying Main Street, you're just rushing through. That's not what Disney's about. Disney's about enjoying the moment, the smells, the sounds. It's not about, oh my god, I've got to get to such and such because I've got to get a ride in 5 minutes.
Or you've got a reservation at Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
No, I'd say the actual quick serve, for us, that was perfect. I think the last day we even said we'd go back and have another Simba Toasty. And I think they had changed to the Halloween, but they're actually closed. So
we had another waffle.
And the waffle was so nice.
But we were really impressed with the quick serve options.
Really impressed with the quick serve options.
And not even everything was open.
And also, it made for cheap food days. I mean, we were looking at some of the prices if we wanted to go in somewhere, and you're talking
about
almost
€70.
Yeah, I mean,
plus.
It was sort of 35 plus each for. Okay, it might be an unlimited menu. I mean, we don't eat huge amounts of food, do we? So it's probably wasted on us.
We're grazers, really, we've realised, aren't
we?
So,
for example, us spending close to 35, 40 euros, we spent just that on all our snacks at that one place at the thingy cafe, wasn't it?
I'd rather spend it on cocktails.
Would you?
Yeah.
I would say we did actually go into the Rainforest Cafe, and I have to say that was a big plus.
It was a good meal. It was just so loud. The kids do my head in. Why do people take kids into restaurants in the evening when they don't want to be there?
After they've had a full day in the park
they
as well.
arrive screaming and they just scream then the whole meal. That isn't fun.
But that aside, the food was you enjoyed your curry, didn't you?
I loved my curry.
And I enjoyed my burger. I don't know if anyone
and
saw.
Cocktail.
It was a nice bit. It was the beastly burger. And again, before we went away, we asked for some recommendations of places people went there. And thank you, Holly Does Disney, because she said about Rainforest Cafe. She actually said, it's a strange one to think of going to Disney to go to, say, a Rainforest Cafe, because there's so many other options. But I have to say, it was a winner for us.
And Clary Tale on her vlog said that she's always had a good meal there.
Yeah.
And again, it's a restricted menu. There's not much choice, but it was really good what we had.
Exactly. And I think that's the thing that sometimes lets Disney down. And look, again, watching some other vlogs of some of the places, the Disney restaurants just look a bit average. It doesn't wow me. All the ones we saw anyway.
Yeah.
And when you're spending that money, you don't really want to...
We cancelled a reservation in the New Marble Hotel as well, didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah. I booked it, do you remember?
Oh, I couldn't remember.
Yeah, we cancelled that.
But so I think definitely the snacks were brilliant, quick serves brilliant, and Rainforest Cafe brilliant as well.
The other thing is as well, a lot of people have been asking about like the French app and all that kind of thing. When you're staying on site, it works really well. You can go and get your health pass it's like your French pass to show that you've been double vaccinated, in the morning, and you get given a different colour wristband on each day.
Yep.
That covers you for all of the resorts. So no matter where you go within the resorts, you just show your wrist and you're in. You don't get checked again. However, you do get checked when you go into the sit-down restaurants.
Yeah.
We didn't get checked in Starbucks.
No, we got checked in Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah, and also Annette's Diner.
Of course, if you're eating on site, you've already got your band anyway, so you've been checked. So.
But we screenshot the pass, and you get it obviously every time you go into the Disneyland park at bag check. We screenshot it, we saved it into a folder on our phone. So each time I had like a DLP folder with everything in there, also then things for what we needed to like return and that. And we just screenshot that and just showed it each time we went through. They scan it and you're straight through. It was super quick and easy.
Wasn't it when we went into Disney Village that we got scanned?
Well, the other thing is when you're going into the restaurants, they seem to want to give you something to fill out. And I think that's because they think you don't have the French app. Whereas we showed we had the French app and then it was fine. We could just go through. Yeah,
I think just to expand on that a little bit, there's two parts to this. There's the one to go into Disney Village, which you've actually got the screenshot. They scan that, you go through.
Yeah.
If you go into the restaurant, this happened in Rainforest Cafe. It's very similar to what our track and trace was. They wanted you to scan the QR code when you went in and fill in the details for the French app. And it was that point they said they wanted our details to write down, but we explained the fact that we'd actually got the French app.
So we were able to
So
use
it was fine. So we were able to use that, and we were able to do it as if we were there.
Easier.
It's very similar to our track and trace app that is used over here in the UK. So
the health pass they call it, don't they?
Yeah, but definitely going into Disney Village, it was nice and easy having that there. They scanned that just before security, and yeah. So a question that people have been asked: would we go back?
Let's finish by. Now I'm going to add that when we were there, we didn't actually buy anything with Disneyland Paris on, did we?
I bought a pin.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even buy a Christmas decoration with Disneyland Paris on. We did.
Not intentionally, but we just didn't really find anything. But
we the merch was really limited as well.
Yeah. Yeah. The choice was limited.
The choice was. I didn't get my pink ears or my pink sweatshirt that I wanted. I came away thinking I didn't want anything really with Disneyland Paris on it.
And also the fact, I think it's fair to say that whilst we were there, part of the time we were thinking we're glad we've done it, but not something we'd actually rush back to. I
said I would if Florida was still closed next year.
Yep.
I would go back, but we were glad we'd done it. And then within 24 hours of being home,
we wanted to go back again. I think even before then, I think even as we were getting ready to come home, I think that last morning, I think being in the park and everything, because we'd kind of worked out, obviously being our first trip, we'd kind of like got a bit comfortable with what we were doing, where we were going.
And also getting used to the kids not being around.
Yeah,
I think that was a big factor for us.
I think that last day was when almost the turning point, the fact of I'm going to miss this. It actually felt at that point, but then when we're on our way home, and even when we got home, we thought, so glad we've done it.
I think also, if you remember right, it was our last full day that we finally met characters, because even that didn't feel right without the kids. So it's not just about Disneyland Paris, it was just a new experience for us completely. Yeah. And at times I think not having the kids there also made us feel quite flat as well.
It was a different experience, wasn't it? So, and also I think in some ways it was, you're always thinking of everyone there, whereas when it's just the two of us to please, it felt almost a bit too simple in some ways. But no, whilst we were there, I think to summarise, I think we thought we wouldn't be rushing back, I say, unless we can get back to Florida. But then I think that last day, I definitely had that feeling of I'm going to miss this. And definitely when we then got home, we actually did even check prices.
We haven't booked anything.
We haven't booked anything, and we're not going to, because hopefully a few months' time, who knows, we may be back in Florida. But I think we definitely do want to go back. We've even said the fact that it isn't about the rides either. I think the parks aren't all about the rides for us anyway. It's just enjoying the parks. It's being there, experiencing it. It's the food. It's the.
I forgot to say as well.
Cavalcades.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, one of my big pluses were the cavalcades.
Yeah.
They were amazing. Like when we were sat at Bellanotta twice, we had a Mickey one go past,
and then the dragon, wasn't it?
No, that was on our last day. Yeah, because it was for Halloween. It was on
that's right,
October the 1st.
Yes.
And then the princess ones, and when we first arrived, the first evening and the first morning, I just cried so much. And I don't cry, I'm not a crier. But I realised it wasn't because I was so happy or anything, it was because I missed Florida so much and I didn't realise how much I'd missed it. And I think it just, all my months' worth, years' worth just came out. Yeah, I was so glad I had my mask on to hide my red nose.
Oh. So I think just to answer that, we would want to go back. There were some parts that, weren't our favourable, but then there's lots of pluses there that we really did enjoy. And I think even if we went back and it wasn't the queue times that we had, I mean, that was a real benefit. But if we went back and it was busy, I think we'd still enjoy it. We'd still love it. We'd just love being there. And I think also for us, like, we want to go back to some other resorts. We had to wander around, but maybe go to the bar in Newport Bay.
That's true.
And experience some of those things. So there's still more things to do. And
more
I think
cocktails to try.
I think anyone that does a trip, you're not going to do everything in that first trip, and there's more things to try.
I think it's finding your feet. You think back, actually, we didn't fully fall in love with our Florida trips until our third trip.
Our third trip, wasn't it? Yeah. We did two whole trips. I think
sometimes you need to find your feet. For us, it's not just finding our feet, it's now finding a new way to do it as a couple rather than a family of 4. So there's lots of factors that have come into it.
Yeah, and I think even if I went there and didn't even do one ride, I think I'd still enjoy it.
Would you watch me on the rides? Because I just still want to do them.
You still want to do
I'll go round Big Thunder Mountain on my own then.
No, I'd obviously do them. But I'm just saying that we're not ones to queue. If you saw
take photos of me as
if you saw a queue for an hour and a half at Big Thunder, would you do it?
No, I wouldn't do 25 minutes.
No, exactly. No. I'd much rather go and have a Simba toasty.
Yeah, I would too.
Exactly.
Oh, another thing that was a negative. There's no Starbucks in the parks. I just wanted to say that. We missed having a latte in the park.
I think you can get coffee in the park, obviously.
It's not a Starbucks latte.
But the cafe au lait, so it's basically coffee with milk. So it's
not even a Joffrey's.
Well, there won't be, will there?
I know, but that's what we did miss. That we really wanted.
If there was somewhere you could grab a latte, I mean, for us,
fluffy coffee.
That's obviously just us. That's our preference. I know there are some people that don't even drink coffee, so that won't affect them. But for us, that's a big thing. The amount of times we've walked down Main Street with our latte, just sat down, watching the world go by, looking at the castle. That's a big thing for us. So we just need to grab it on the way in, don't we?
Yeah, but it was always busy, that Starbucks, wasn't it?
Only the first day.
Was it? And it smelled outside. Anyway, let's finish there.
Yeah, I think this video's turned out to be 10 times as long as we thought.
I know, I was hoping just to edit a quick one. Anyway, the vlogs start on the 13th. We're really excited to share them with you. They will be going live at 6 o'clock. Should we do a premiere? Are we doing anything Wednesday?
I don't think we are. Should we have that as our...
We've never done a premiere before.
I don't know. What does that entail?
Oh, well, then you can chat with people.
Okay. I think we should also do a live as well, whether it be on YouTube or Instagram.
Yeah,
maybe we should do an Instagram live. I mean, that might happen before this has gone up. So.
My only issue with a premiere is that then people, when they start watching it, if they start watching it 5 minutes in, the idea is you chat with people. No, I'm not going to do a premiere because because it's a 40-minute video. If somebody starts watching halfway through, just ignore that. But shall we do a live then next week?
I think we need to do a live. Well, I want to do a live both on maybe YouTube and also Instagram as well, because now that we've been back, so because I have quite a number of followers. It might have been because of the giveaway that we announced.
Oh yeah, you've done a giveaway as well. So, when does that close?
It closes. Oh, I think it was the 14th.
Oh, okay.
Correct me
if
I'm
still
wrong.
Open.
Oh, still open, yeah.
Oh, okay. So head over to. You can see who is in charge of the Instagram account.
Head over to Aid and Lisa Do Disney on Instagram. There is a giveaway with some Disneyland Paris Halloween bits and pieces.
We bought some cute bits and pieces and pin. There's a pin. And
there's
cute little Mickey Halloween.
We also got the shampoo and conditioner from the room as well. New ones.
Yeah, not the used ones.
Not part-used ones. They're not new.
Yeah, we bought some nice things, didn't we?
Like trick or treat, Mickey kind of things. So yeah.
So head over there. I'll leave the link down below. And yes, should we do an Instagram live next? A YouTube live next week to talk? I think so. Yeah, maybe after the video's gone up. Yeah, maybe not the same day. No, not straight after. Maybe the Thursday or Friday. Yeah. Okay. We'll I don't know how to let people know. We can message on YouTube and we can message on Instagram. Can't message on YouTube. Can you not do it? Oh, do you need to get more subscribers? Yeah. We need to get more subscribers so we can message on YouTube. So if you haven't already, subscribe, because then that means we'll be able to message you on here. Tell all your friends and family. Yeah, we only need about another 400, isn't it? So. I think a bit more than that, actually. But yeah, no. Well, should we? I don't know.
We'll do something. We'll put it out wherever we can. If you follow us on Instagram, we'll maybe put the notification out there. That's probably going to be the easiest place to do it. So check our stories. That's probably where we're going to announce that we're going to do a live at some point and what it's going to be on.
Enjoy this rambly vlog. I hope you have, and we will see you on the 13th with our first Disneyland Paris vlog. Lots of love.
Thank you. Bye.